Hello, welcome to drawing class with Joe. So, because you guys never got back to me about what you wanted, I've just come up with my own idea. What you need is a piece of fruit, not for snacking. You need pencil, you need a rubber, and you need some colouring in pencils as well. So, go get those and come back. So the first step is to choosing which part of the fruit you like. So I'm going to use one that's got lots of colour. I'll just take off that sticker. But yes, I think maybe this bit looks kind of cool because it's got the yellow and it's got some marks and dark bits. So put the fruit somewhere you can see it, so you won't be able to see this. And yeah, we'll start drawing. So first step is to look at the shape, the whole shape of the fruit. So it's kind of a circle but not quite, because there's a dent in there and there's a big dent in there and it's almost not a perfect circle, so just draw whatever you can. So, and don't draw too hard because then you won't be able to rub it out if you make a mistake. Bella, that's you. So just really lightly. That's my shape that I'm going to start with. So next thing that you got to do is find out where the light shapes are. So this is my fruits. We've got the light shapes here, we've got some darker ones here, so we're just going to draw little marks where the shapes are. So as you can see, my fruit, we've got a light spot here, so I'm just going to draw the outline of the shape.
What it looks like. And it kind of comes down, round, up, and kind of around that bit as well.
And then we've got another dark bit in here. And the dark dent in there and here. So there's a dark bit up here. So just make sure you remember what the difference is. So yeah, it looks pretty weird, but that's okay. Now we're going to need some colours. So obviously I'm going to use some red, and I'm going to use some yellow, and I'm going to use some brown as well. So you can use whatever colours you like if you're doing the same fruit or different fruit, obviously whatever you like. But what I'm going to start with is yellow. So yellow is for the lightest bits, obviously on the fruit here. So we've got heaps of yellow here, so just kind of not perfectly coloured in, just to a point where it just looks kind of scratchy. We'll eventually do that bit brown. Well, I will. I don't know about you guys, but... And we also have some light bits in here, so we'll just do random. Doesn't really matter, but just add some more colour, because as you can see there's little yellow bits everywhere. But definitely this bit. Now, brown will just make the yellow less intense, just really lightly. And now I'm going to do brown in this bit here, a bit darker, just because that's that little bruise there, and also in these little bits on top. Cool. We also have like this weird bit down here that I'm just going to do brown, just because I don't really know what other colour to do it. I'm going to do the dark bits first. So that was that one bit up there, this bit here, and also bits around here is a bit dark as well. So just push a little bit harder. still pretty scratchy, not perfectly coloured. And also just along here, just because I just noticed that bit was quite dark there, and also that side as well was pretty dark. See, not perfect, that's cool. Now any other dark bits that you can probably see on your fruit, just whatever fruit you have. Hopefully you might have apple, so it's a bit easier, but that's cool. Now I'm going to do the whole red now. As you can see, my apple is pretty streaky, so I'm just going to go quite crazy on the colour. Try and keep it to the shape, so around here I'm following this curve that I did before, but obviously doing it a bit lighter. So kind of follow the line, see, like that line there is curving up, and then that way you can get the real shape of the apple. And then in the middle bit it will be a bit straighter because that's where the front of the apple is here. So just a little bit, and then follow this curve around here, so going around, going over into the yellow bit as well, that's cool, and around this curve here. So also there's lots of dark lines, so just like a few dark spots is cool, just random, don't want to make it too perfect, and just a bit more colouring in. Also brown, it's a pretty bad colour, no one really likes brown, but it's actually really good for drawing because it makes things look more real, because apples don't look that perfect. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit darker spots around, so just going over lightly in brown just makes it look a little bit more real. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't look real, but just makes it a little bit nicer in my opinion. So just going around, just where you think there's a bit white spots or looks too nice, then that's cool. And also maybe just around these edges because it looks a little bit, doesn't look too proper. Okay, so here, oh, there's also a line down there and a line there, so done that line. This line's just in there. Cool, so that is the apple. If you want to, you can just be a little bit creative and add a little line. So I'm going to use brown and also use black if I have it. Yep. And just put a little bit of black on one side just to make it a bit more shading, I guess. Cool, so the secret to the super fruit is that we're going to make this super fruit, a superhero. So if you do have a black pen, that's handy. If not, you can use a black pencil or whatever colour you like, this one, or yeah, just whatever. So if you want to just stop the video and get that, that would be great. If not, we can keep going. So the fun part about this is that we're going to make our fruit look like a superhero. So we'll start with a pencil, only lightly, and we're going to make this look like a person. So, okay, cool, so I just made this out a little bit more so you could see it. So we'll start with hands. I'm going to draw two hands out, like on an elbow, like a superhero, standing with his hands on his hips. So I'm just going to draw two little elbows down like this. And then draw a little ball for the hands, just like that, just overlapping. And then for legs, I'm going to draw probably quite long legs just to make it look cool. Slightly bent as well. So one line, and then to make them look a little bit bent, you just draw the second bit on an angle. And little feet, I'll probably just do little boots because they're quite easy. So just a light circle like that. Probably try and make them even, but that's cool. And a head. So since I've drawn this, I'm going to put the head on that, so that will be the neck. So we'll just draw a little head because that will be kind of funny. Just a little circle. Cool. So you should have arms, legs, and a head for your super fruit. Sometimes what you can do is draw your head on here, but we'll just do it like that for now. So now to drawing the face. So I think the face can be pretty easy, but just because it's cartoon, so it's okay. So what I am going to draw is 2 lines like this. That way that can be the mask, and a little L-shaped nose, and a little smiley face as well, just on the side, just because it looks like he's looking that way. So draw 2 little circles for eyes, and then what we're going to do is draw a ribbon shape out here. So if you just draw a little squiggle like this and pull it down, copy that and go in, and then again down here to make it look like a tie for the eyes. And then you can draw here whatever you like. So I'm gonna draw spiky here, I think, like that. But we're gonna go over this in colour anyway. So yes, that's very funky here that I do, but that is okay. So next thing we're going to do is just rub it out just slightly, just so then we can draw over in pen. So just so we can still see it, but we can probably fix anything that we want to fix before we make it permanent in pen. So just lightly, I mean it kind of smudges it a bit, but you can still see it, which is the main part. And then I'm going to choose this pen, but you can use a pencil or whatever you like to go over what you've drawn. This way then it will be perfect, and yeah, you can fix any mistakes that you've made. Funny, pretty silly, but it's something to do. So I'm gonna trace around the apple carefully. We could add a cape, that would be kind of funny. So I am gonna go back to my pencil, just in case I make a mistake, and draw a cape that probably hangs down here. So we'll start up here, around connected. Cool. So there's our super fruit.